What is Narcissistic Personality Disorder? Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we're diving into something that's been popping up a lot in conversations, social media, and even in our own lives. Narcissistic Personality Disorder, or NPD for short. If you've ever wondered why some people seem to think the world revolves around them, or why they can't handle criticism without blowing up, this might be the answer. I'm going to break it all down for you in a simple, straightforward way. No fancy medical terms or confusing jargon, just real talk about what NPD is, how it shows up, what causes it, and what can be done about it. Think of this as a full guide, like chatting with a friend who's done the research. If you're already hooked and want more breakdowns like this, go ahead and smash that like button right now. It really helps the channel grow and reach folks who need it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button too. You'll get notified for all my upcoming mental health chats. Alright, let's jump in. First off, let's start with the basics. What exactly is narcissistic personality disorder? Well, imagine someone who has an over-the-top sense of their own importance. They crave attention and praise like it's oxygen, and they often don't really care about other people's feelings. NPD isn't just being selfish or vain, everyone has those moments. It's a real mental health condition that affects how a person thinks, feels, and behaves in pretty much every part of their life. It's like their brain is wired to put themselves on a pedestal, and anything that threatens that view can cause big problems. The term narcissist comes from an old Greek myth about a guy named Narcissus who fell in love with his own reflection in a pool of water. He stared at it so much that he wasted away. That's kind of the vibe, extreme self-focus. But in real life, NPD is more than that. It's listed in the big book that doctors use to diagnose mental disorders, called the DSM-5. To have NPD, a person needs to show at least 5 out of 9 specific traits, and these have to be ongoing patterns, not just one-off behaviors. Let me list out those key signs in a way that's easy to picture. Number 1, a grand sense of self-importance. This means they exaggerate their achievements and talents. Like, they might talk about being the best at their job when they're really just average, or they expect everyone to recognize them as superior, without any real proof. 2. They're obsessed with fantasies of unlimited success, power, brilliance, beauty, or ideal love. It's like they're living in a movie where they're the star, and everything works out perfectly for them. 3. They believe they're special and unique, and can only be understood by other special people or high-status folks. They might only hang out with people they think are on their level, and look down on everyone else. 4. They need constant admiration. Praise is their fuel. If they're not getting compliments or attention, they get restless or upset. 5. A sense of entitlement. They expect special treatment, like cutting in line or getting favors without earning them. And if they don't get it, watch out, they can get really angry. 6. They're exploitative in relationships. That means they take advantage of others to get what they want, without feeling bad about it. 7. Lack of empathy. This is a big one. They struggle to recognize or care about how others feel. If you're hurting, they might not notice, or might even dismiss it. 8. They're often envious of others, or believe others are envious of them. Jealousy runs deep, and it can make them competitive in unhealthy ways. 9. Arrogant or haughty behaviors. They come across as snobby, rude, or condescending, like they're better than you. Now, these traits don't always show up the same way in everyone. Some people with NPD are outgoing and charming. At first, they're the grandiose type. They boast and dominate conversations. Others are more vulnerable. They hide their insecurity behind a mask of superiority. But deep down, they're fragile and hypersensitive to criticism. Either way, it can make relationships tough. Friends, family, or partners might feel drained, manipulated, or walked all over. Okay, so how does someone end up with NPD? It's not like catching a cold, there's no single cause. Experts think it's a mix of things. Genetics play a role. If it runs in the family, you might be more prone to it. But environment is huge too. Childhood experiences often shape this. For example, if a kid gets too much praise without earning it, or if parents are overly critical and set impossible standards, it can mess with their self-view. Neglect, abuse, or even being spoiled can contribute. It's like the brain learns early on that the only way to feel okay is to build this big ego shield. There's also brain stuff involved. Studies show that people with NPD might have differences in areas of the brain that handle empathy and self-regulation. Hormones and stress during key development years could factor in. But remember, not everyone with a rough childhood gets NPD. It's about how all these pieces come together. Diagnosing NPD isn't simple. You can't just take a blood test. It usually involves a mental health pro, like a psychologist or psychiatrist, talking to the person over time. They'll ask about their life, relationships, and behaviors. Sometimes, they use questionnaires to spot patterns. But here's the catch. People with NPD often don't think anything's wrong with them. They might seek help for other issues, like depression or relationship problems, and the NPD gets uncovered along the way. Denial is common because admitting flaws cracks that perfect self-image. The doc will rule out other things too, like bipolar disorder or substance abuse, which can mimic some symptoms. And NPD can overlap with other personality disorders, like borderline or antisocial. Age matters. It's usually diagnosed in adults, since teens are still figuring themselves out and might show narcissistic traits that fade. Now, let's talk treatment. Is NPD fixable? Well, it's not like popping a pill and done, but with effort, people can improve. The main go-to is therapy, especially something called psychotherapy or talk therapy. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, helps challenge those distorted thoughts, like "I'm always right" or "everyone's out to get me." It teaches better ways to cope and build real self-esteem, not the fake inflated kind. Another type is dialectical behavior therapy, DBT, which focuses on emotions and relationships. It can help with empathy skills and handling criticism without lashing out. Group therapy might work for some, where they learn from others' feedback in a safe space. But honestly, getting someone with NPD into therapy is half the battle they need to want change, or at least see how their behavior hurts their life. Medications aren't for NPD itself, but they can help with side issues like anxiety, depression, or mood swings. Antidepressants or anti-anxiety meds might be prescribed. Lifestyle changes count too. Exercise, healthy eating, and cutting down on alcohol or drugs can make a difference. What if you're dealing with someone who has NPD? Maybe a boss, friend, or family member. It can be exhausting. Set boundaries early. Don't let them walk over you. Communicate clearly, but calmly. Avoid feeding their ego with constant praise, but don't attack it either, as that can trigger defensiveness. Encourage them to get help if possible, but you can't force it. And take care of yourself. Therapy for you might help process the emotional toll. In romantic relationships, NPD can be tricky. Partners often feel unloved or used. Gaslighting is common, where the narcissist twists reality to make you doubt yourself. If it's abusive, walking away might be the healthiest choice. But some couples make it work, with therapy and mutual effort. On a brighter note, not all narcissists are villains. Many function well in society, especially in fields like business or entertainment where confidence shines. Think of high achievers who channel that drive positively. But unchecked, it can lead to isolation, failed relationships, and even legal troubles if they cross lines. Society's view on narcissism has shifted. With social media, we're all a bit more self-focused, posting selfies, chasing likes. But true NPD is rarer, affecting about 1% of people, more men than women. It's not an excuse for bad behavior, though. Understanding it helps us respond better, with compassion instead of judgment. Let me share a quick story to make this real. I knew a guy in college, let's call him Alex. He was charismatic, always the center of parties, bragging about his grades and future plans. At first, it was fun, but then, if you disagreed with him, he'd sulk or argue endlessly. He borrowed money and never paid back, saying he deserved it. Friendships faded because no one felt valued. Years later, he hit rock bottom after a breakup and job loss, and finally sought help. Therapy helped him see how his actions pushed people away. He's better now, not perfect, but aware. Stories like that show change is possible. Wrapping this up, narcissistic personality disorder is a complex thing, rooted in deep-seated patterns of thinking and behaving. It's not about being a bad person. It's a disorder that needs understanding and professional support. If you suspect you or someone you know has it, talking to a mental health expert is the first step. Remember, everyone's got flaws, and seeking help is a sign of strength, not weakness. Thanks for sticking with me through this breakdown. If you learned something or have your own experiences, drop a comment below, I'd love to hear. And if this video hit home for you, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more honest talks on stuff like this. Your support means the world and helps spread the word. Take care, and see you next time.